Parents, help me understand something. What exactly do you expect us as educators to do? Keep in mind, I'm a parent too. When we correct your child, you don't like it. When we raise our voice at your child, you don't like that either. Of course, we can't use corporal punishment, and I get that. But at the same time, you don't want us to do much more than talk soft and gentle to them. Let's be honest. Some of you know your child is a behavioral issue, or at least you want to pretend they aren't. Your child doesn't always listen to you, yet somehow you expect them to come to school and suddenly do everything they're supposed to do. How does that work? Do you really think we're going to let somebody else's child run wild around us when even the parents don't want to deal with the behavior at home? Schools have become glorified daycares in some cases. We can't correct students without parents getting upset, and then you wonder why kids behave the way they do. It is the parents of the kids with the worst behavior who seem to have the biggest problem with their child being corrected. That is exactly the problem. There is nothing wrong with children being corrected within reason. You should absolutely want that for your kid. Correction is meant to help the child learn, not punish them. But as soon as something worse happens because of that child's behavior, the parent is ready to blame everybody and everything but themselves. Make it make sense. Every time we try to do what's right, correct bad behavior, or give consequences, parents get angry. So tell me, what do you want us to do? How would you like us to handle your child's behavior? Should we call you and wait for you to show up, knowing many parents barely come unless there's an issue they have with the school? And let's be real, no matter how many emails, texts, Blackboard messages, PBIS notices, calls, letters, or announcements we send home, some parents are still going to ask, why am I just finding out? They are not reading anything. We spend over 7 hours a day with students. That's more than 1,300 hours over 187 school days. Too many of those students are completely out of control. Not all, of course, but far too many for us to keep pretending this isn't a real problem. If you want schools to get better and behavior to improve, parents have to be part of the solution. Parents should be the first and primary teachers of their children, not strangers, not educators. I don't expect other adults to raise or train my child. I expect them to reinforce what I've already taught at home. That is what partnership looks like. So instead of complaining, let's talk solutions. But here is what does not work. Letting children do whatever they want or telling us, don't say anything to my child. If that is your attitude, maybe homeschooling is the better option. And please explain this. If your child won't even listen to you, how do you expect them to listen to anyone else? Does that make sense? Because it doesn't make sense to us. You are tired of us calling, texting, and complaining, but guess what? We are tired too. Educators are tired of parents acting like their child is one of one when we deal with hundreds of students at a time. We are tired of dealing with the same behavior with no follow-through at home. Yes, some schools and teachers can do better, absolutely. But the bigger issue is parenting. Teachers did not give birth to these children. You did. When students know there are no real consequences or corrections for their actions, good or bad, they are more likely to act out. So when you tell us to leave them alone, please believe you are part of what's wrong with our kids. Yes, consequences should match the behavior. Yes, educators should be held responsible for how we correct students. Yes, parents have a major role in blocking effective correction, which then forces more serious consequences for students who keep acting out without proper intervention. You do not like them being corrected? Then deal with what comes from it.